Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will learn about PLSQL variables. So starting with this, we'll first try to understand what are variables and why do we need them. So the main reason of that using variable is to save the values for a while and reuse that variable whenever we need in our program. Basically, we use variable for temporary storage of data. So we save that data into a variable, manipulate that, and reuse whenever we need it. So beside that, we can send them as a parameter to other subprograms also. So we can use variable in almost everywhere in PLSQL. So there are many types of variable that we can use depending upon our need. So we'll start with the different PLSQL variable types. So every variable must have a data type and you need to choose which data type you want to use that and what should be the length of that variable. So these things you should know before we declaring any variable. So Oracle has a categorized variable into four group. First is a scalar data type. Second is reference data type. Third is large object. We can say LOBs. And fourth is composite data type. So we'll learn all these different type of data types step by step. So in this video, we'll learn about first data type, that is a scalar data type. That scalar data type hold a single value with only one type. Okay. So that's what is a scalar data type. And what is a reference data type? A reference data type hold a values which point to the storage location in the database. We can say a pointer also here. So and third is LOBs. LOB is what? Large objects that are also pointers to the other data items that we stored outside of the table, such as images, file, and all other. We can say those are large objects. And fourth is a composite data types. Composite data type is generally called as a collection or records. So composite data types are variable that hold more than one value in it, and they can be have different types also or the same types also. So all these different type of data types we will learn, and in this current video we will learn about scalar data types first in detail. Okay, so we will check all the different scalar data types we have in PLSQL. So those are mostly used in the PLSQL programming in any organization, and these are very useful for a developer to develop or work on the PLSQL programs. So first one is a char, and we have to provide a max length of for that char data type. So for this, it can have a maximum 32,767 bytes. Maximum value, we can have a 32,767 byte. And by default, we can have only one byte value. If you don't provide any value here while declaring any variable for char type variable, then if you don't declare any value here in bracket, then by default char will take one character of or one byte of memory. Okay, and based on this and maximum value we can declare uh, provide for this char data type is 32,767 byte. Okay. Next is varchar2. And varchar2 is an extension type of char data type. Okay. So this is nearly same for character data type, and but there is a difference. We'll try to understand what is the difference between char and varchar2 data types. So suppose we give example. I'll give one example. Suppose we declare any variable with 30 byte. Suppose the text of 30 byte. Then and we declare this variable as a char data type. Sorry, we declare like this. This is the name of variable and char of 30, suppose. Okay. Then in this case, ttext, this variable allocate 30 byte of memory in our database. Even though our uh, assigned value is less than 30, but still this, because of char, it allocate complete 30 digit byte of memory in the database. In the other way, for suppose we take another example for varchar2 t underscore takes 2 varchar2 30. So in this case, what will happen? Suppose our assigned value is less than 30, then that value is suppose of 10 byte only. Or we can suppose I will give one example. Class, suppose class, or A, B, C, D something. Okay. So now these are 4 byte of character. So this 4 character, out of this 30, it will take only 4 character memory, and remaining will be not used. So it will, so best way, like always use the varchar2 data type, because it is helpful for the memory usage also. Okay. So because it use, even though we give the value for char is third, uh, 4 character, suppose A, B, C, D, it still for this 4 character, it use complete 30 byte of memory. But in this case, it use only 4 byte of memory. So this is a very useful for in the PLSQL programming. So I hope you understood the difference between the char and varchar2. Next, we will learn about number. Third is a number. And in number, we can have a fields like precision, comma, scale. So we can provide this. Okay. So this number is a fixed length number data type with the precision and scale. Okay. So if you write a number keyword only, and it means it allocate maximum value of number type only. So whatever the number has a maximum value, that will be used here. Okay. And if you provide precision, then only that length of number can be only created. I mean, variable with that length only created. Say, I will give one example. Suppose we create one variable v number with 30 by 5. Okay. Sorry, v number 30 by 5. 30 comma 5. So in this case, we can assign number with maximum of 30, or that total length of this number can be 30 or more than 30. Okay. Including decimal. Okay. That is very important. Okay. The precision must be equal to or greater than the total digit in the value, including decimal. Okay. Precision must be, this is the precision 30, that must be equal or greater than total digit, equal or greater than. Okay. So here we can give, suppose 5, correct. Or we can give, suppose I will give example of 4 and here 2, 24.35 suppose. So what is this means? This is the, this 4 can be a equal to or greater than total digit. So here we have 4 digit in total, including decimal value, right? So our this precision value should be equal to or greater than. Okay, it can be 5 also here. Okay, or it can be 6 also, but it cannot be 3 because our precision must be always equal to or greater than total value we are assigning, including decimal point. Okay, before decimal and after decimal. If we check this, there are total four digits, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can have a precision at least 4 and more than 4. Okay, and decimal value should be it can be anything like from 0 to 2. Okay, here in this case 2. So this is the one of the example for a number. Okay. And we can check a few more example. This is for number with precision. Number 4 data type, we can check PLS integer. So for all these scalar data types, right, we'll see complete in detail example and programs also for this. Just for understanding, and I'm giving brief introduction and explanation about these scalar data types. So first we have checked that character varchar 2 number, and now PLS integer. So PLS integer is nothing but it's a PLS integer, and we can use this is an integer type of data type. Okay, this will take a complete whole number. It cannot have a, we cannot assign any decimal number into this variable. Yeah, PLS integer is same as like we can say binary integer. Okay, binary integer. Okay, so this is both are same thing. So we generally, whenever we want a good performance over the we use a PLS integer over this number. Means we to get the maximum performance we use PLS integer. If we know that our data is in a whole number, then instead of using number we can use PLS integer, because that PLS integer has a high performance as compared to number data type. Okay. So in case of only when our numbers are whole number, if those numbers don't have any decimal number, then only we can use PLS integer. Okay. So this is the PLS integer or binary integer. Fifth, we will take as a date. Okay. We will learn about the date. Fifth, we will learn about dates. Date. Okay. So what are all date type of data types we have? Suppose V date. Date, you can have a any date like its current date. For current date we assign like sys date, or current date is another function we can use for to assign the current date for the variable. Okay, so date is one of the type data type. Second, we can use if suppose we want time in millisecond. So in that case we can use timestamp. Okay, timestamp is another we date to timestamp. Okay, we can declare like this. So we can have this type of multiple dates. We can have timestamp with time zone. Okay, so we can use this for local time zone. If there is a difference in time in local time and universal time. Universal time, what is that universal? CTS, that is central time. and our local time. If there is a we want to see that a difference, then we can use a timestamp with the time zone. Okay. So whatever the difference between them, right? This will give as a time zone is a difference in local time and universal time. Okay, this time zone. These are all different dates type we use in our generally in programming. Again, next we can use as a timestamp or interval, days or day to second. Okay. So this is just to get the interval of interval in terms of days to second. Okay, between the days. Okay, dates. So we can use interval days to second. Suppose we want in year and month. So interval month. Sorry, year to month. Year to month. Okay, so all these are scalar data type, right? So all these whatever we have learned, right? These many. First is char, second is varchar. These and for number we have number and PLS integer. This is for whole number. We can have a decimal number also. In numbers we can use precision and scale. Next, regarding date, we have different data types like date, timestamp with time zone, interval days to second, interval days to month. So all these are scalar data types. So we will learn in detail about detail example for all these. Whatever we learn about the scalar data type, right? We will do some example for this. So I will just open another worksheet here. Okay, we'll start here with declaring variables example. Okay. So to display our output, we will first set server output on and run this. Okay, I have run this. So shortcut for this is Control Enter. Shift click on Enter, press, and at the same time click on Enter on keyboard. Okay, so this is shortcut. But if you want to run from here, select this and click here run. This is to run the single run or run statement, or this is the run script. Okay. Now we will start with the char and varchar2 example, variable example. Okay. So first we will declare one variable vtext as a char of 50. And we will give not null, and default value is Baltic. Okay. So before that starting, I want to explain some detail about what is the sequence we can use here. Like suppose first is our variable name. Okay. Second, we can have one constant also if you want. Like this is not a right example for constant, but I want to give some detail about this. Suppose this is a variable name. Our syntax should be like this: variable name, constant. After that, we have to mention the data type. Okay. After that, we can have a not null value, and we can have a default. We can have a colon equal that assignment operator, and we can have value. Either that value can be like value or expression also we can give. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So these are all actual what we call syntax for this. This should be a sequence. Here in this case, if you see the constant we have mentioned, right? This is not a compulsory. What we call this is optional field. Like suppose we want we want some number to be constant, or what we call it's a fix. It can we don't want to change that constant value in the program. Then we mention that variable as a constant type of variable. Okay. So in future, in future means in the same program, we cannot change the value of that variable. If we use a constant and we assign some value to this constant, right? We cannot change later. So that's why we use constant, but this is optional. And after that, we mention the data type. What are the data type? It can be character, char, varchar, numbers, any data type for this variable. And after that, we mention that not, if that is not null or null. So if you want that variable to be not null, then we have to explicitly mention here not null. Well, okay. And if you want to provide any default value to that variable, in case we don't assign any value here in the next time, suppose in the program, it will consider a default value. Okay, if you don't assign any other value, it will take a default value from this declaration only. But this is also optional. What are all optional? Constant is optional, not null is optional, default is optional. A variable is also, if you want to assign here, assign. Otherwise, we have to assign in the begin block. Okay, begin and end, between begin and end, we can assign that. So here we can assign this value, else we can assign the value to this variable in the begin and end block also. We can have an expression also. So this is the syntax actually we have to understand. This is very important. This constant is optional, not null, default, all these are optional. What is a mandatory? Variable name and our data type. These are very much important and mandatory. Okay. So I'll just comment out this. I just want to explain this before we start variable declaration and assignment. So here I'll just comment out. We have a variable v text and we have declared that variable with the char 50 and not null and default value is voltic. Okay. So now I will try to print that here. I'll start begin block. I'll just close this begin. Okay. And here dbms output dot put line. I will just mention this as a I will just mention this is a this is a char type of variable. Okay, I will just mention this and oh, this is the one which will distinguish between. I mean, this will have a different distinct between comment on our value. Okay, separator we can say. Here is a char type of variable. Okay, if I run this program now, what will happen? Do you see what will happen if we run this program? Let's run. What is the mistake we have done? See, we have got this red line below this, right? There should be some issue when we get some red line like this. There is some issue. Like we should. This is there is a good thing that SQL developer gives some highlights, or we can say give some symptoms like if there is some issue, we get this red line, right? Before char we have red line. There is some issue. What is the mistake? Before we'll run first, and after that we'll see what is the issue. If we run this, right? So you can see it got failed, right? As expected. Must be declared. Vtext must be declared, right? Okay. Vtext must be declared. But why? We have already declared, right? Here Vtext. And we have provided char 50 and not null default to everything we have done. But we have not given declare keyword, right? This is okay. If I give this, okay, declare now that red line was there below, right? That was disappeared. Now if I run this, so it got successfully completed. Okay. Now if you see the reason, like if you see Voltec I have assigned here, and after that if we are joining that, I mean string with this b text character. This is combining, okay, the vtext and each char type of variable. We are combining, but we have got this much space, right? Why we have got? I already told you, right? When we use a char and any size of that char, it will occupy complete the space for that in the memory. So in the same way, if we do for varchar, right? If I copy paste here and with 2 and I don't change anything, only I change varchar 2 50 size for the varchar 2 also. And if I copy paste this dbms output also, and I mention varchar 2, okay. And if I run program, I'll just run this program again. See, here we don't have any difference, I mean space, right? This is directly Poltech is char type of variable. We will give some space here, or we can give how we can give space. Again, we can give like suppose I will give like this. Okay, I will give space like this. Okay, where Voltec is a char type of variable. Why we have this much space and we don't have any space? There is a, because I already explained, right? Char will occupy complete memory of 50 character byte, and varchar 250 is this will occupy only whatever the value we have for the Voltec, whatever the value we have, right? This much memory it will take only. After that, it will not take any memory. But char will occupy complete 50 character byte of memory. So that is the difference. We'll start. This is for char and varchar 2 example. Now next we'll learn about the numbers example. Okay. So for this v number I will mention 4 comma 2, not null, suppose not null, colon equal to 50.53. I'll just mention. Now I will display this number. Okay, what we can do, v number, okay, is a number type of variable. If I run this program now, what is again 50.53 is a number type of variable. Okay, so when we earlier discussed, right, we'll learn more about precision and length of this, because this is very much important in software company. Most of the time developer have always have confusion for this, and because of this most of the time we see that programs also fail, and we don't understand why it is failing, right? So this is very much important. Okay, try to understand this concept very much, because this is very much important. Precision must be equal or greater than total digit in values, including decimal value. Okay, including decimal value. What do you mean this? Suppose I will just see. We have 4 digit in this total value, right? I have 4. This is working fine, right? I have executed this program. This is fine. Okay, but when I say it has 3, when I mention 3, right? And if I run this gives error, right? What is the error? Numeric or value error, numeric precision too large. Okay, numeric precision too large means this total value is greater than 3, because at least we need this precision to be 4. Okay, then it will out. We can have 5 also, we can have 6 also. Okay, we can have 6 also, we can have 10 also here, right? Okay, there will not be any problem if we have this precision is equal to or greater than total value. But if it is less than total number, here 4 we have, right? 2 before digit and 2 after, then it will be a problem if we have a less precision than total 4 here. So if you do like similarly for a scale, if you see we have 2 scale. If I do the 1 here, it will only populate first decimal. After decimal we have only first character. If we do the 0, right, then also we will not have any problem. Okay, it will populate round it to next value 51. 50, it is after 50.53, right? If I do like 23 2 here, then it will round up to 50. See here, it round up to 50. So this 0, there will not be problem. It can have a, if suppose we have 2 decimal, then at least we can have a 2 decimal. Okay, so And if we have a 4, then see total whatever we have, there will not be an issue. Okay. So reason is that we can have, see, this is the total length of the, we can have this value is a total length equal to or greater than that value. Okay. And out of this 10, we have 4 decimal and remaining 6 are for uh, before decimal value. Suppose I will give example. Uh, for suppose we have 4 decimal, right? I will give 9 8. Okay. I will give, so this will work properly, not an issue. Suppose I increase one more value, it will give a issue, or it will give only till 4 digit. Okay. And if, because in 10 comma 4 we have, right, in 10 comma 4 we have a 6 digit for before decimal, and 4 decimal, 4 for after decimal. Okay, understood. The total is 10. Out of this 10, 4 is for decimal, remaining are 6. 6 is for before decimal. Okay. So we can have a 6 decimal value also here. We can type here 5 6. I typed, yeah, perfectly. If I increase one more character, then it will give error. Correct. This is going beyond like number precision too large error. So like this, we have to understand 6 plus 4. Here, even though if you have 5 value, it will print 4 only. See, 4 only. It is giving round up. Means we can have a maximum 4 decimal and 6 decimal here in, sorry, 6 before decimal. So this is the meaning of number 10 comma 4. This is very much important because in corporate world also most of the time many developer have confusion about this. So this concept is very much important. That's why I spend a lot of time on this and to explain this. Okay. uh, Precision must be equal to or greater than total digit in values including decimal. Okay. So next we'll learn about the v number 2. We'll take v number 2, PLS integer, not null. And if I assign the same value like 54.58 something like, okay, in FA, and if I copy this and paste below, v number 2 or v number 2, okay, is a PLS number type, PLS integer, PLS integer data type. Okay. Now you can see here, even though we have a decimal value, as because we have declared that PLS integer, it will take always take as a whole number. It will round up the after digit, after decimal, whatever the value is there, it will round up to the previous one. So it has more than 5.5, right? So it is rounding to 55 here, if you can see here, right? So PLS integer is a integer type of data type. It cannot take a decimal value. Okay. So whenever we know that our and it has an advantage over number, that if that we know that if any in our requirement is that we are using only we our sorry our numbers are only whole number, then only we use PLS integer. Okay. So we should know, right, when to use PLS integer and when to use number. Okay. If you are sure that our requirement for number is that has a complete whole numbers only, then you definitely use PLS integer, otherwise use number. Okay. Next, we'll learn about the binary integer. It's similar to PLS integer only. Before 11G, there was a difference, but after 11G, both are same. Binary integer. Okay. If I do copy paste here, there is no change. If you see output of this value, if I do binary integer like this, if I mention this, what is the issue here? I have mentioned binary integer. Oh, sorry. It should be 3. Okay. Yeah, you can see Both are the same. A PLS integer is also 55, binary integer is also 55. So there is no difference in it. Okay. So only we should know like when to use PLS integer and when to use number data type. Okay. So next we will learn about the dates. We'll learn about date, timestamp, timestamp with time zone. Okay. So here we will declare one variable vdate and date not null, and we will assign value as a sysdate. Okay, and we will just print that value. What we will assign, what we will give here? We will give vdate. Okay, it's a date type of variable. Okay, I will just see how we are getting is a date, month, and year. This is given today's date 21 June 2025, right? So this is a current date. This date is a current date. This is a by default or this Oracle function we can say uh, by default. Most of the time in programming we use this date. Okay, so this is very important procedure. I think function. Okay, yeah. So next we will learn about the v timestamp. Okay, v date one timestamp not null, and we will assign same way here. So it will give the our time in millisecond. Okay. So this is the difference actually between date and uh, timestamp. Okay. If you see here, earlier was a date only, and now it is giving what is the current time. First date will not give a time when we directly print that date, but there is another way which we can do some setting here. We can go to tools and preferences and NLS, right? Here you can declare like uh, time uh, timestamp like hours, 24 minutes, like hours 24 colon mi and second. I think this is correct. Or let's see. Yeah, you can see this one. It is giving. Okay, it got changed, right? So in this way, we can change the. You can do a change in preferences also. How we want to display this date format, right? We can do that also here. Now I'll just remove this. We don't need. I will change this and I will run again. Oh, it went off, right? Correct. So now we have completed like numbers. Sorry, dates. Timestamp. Timestamp is actually time. What is the time now? Current time now. Next, we will learn about uh, timestamp with time zone. Okay, because we are getting this in timestamp means it's we are getting time in millisecond also, right? Hours, minute, seconds, and milliseconds like this. Now we see date to timestamp with time zone. Okay, or time zone. And if we assign same sys date, okay, I will assign same date. You can provide a manual date also here. Manually, you can type here also. But I want to give some what is the difference between all these three, right? I want to show that it's same data. Okay. So next, if I declare yes, timestamp with time zone. Okay. If I run this, we can see now see the difference timestamp and timestamp with zone. Now my zone is Asia Kolkata. This is I'm from India, right? So and our Indian time standard is Asia Kolkata is okay. So that's why like it's showing like this. Okay. With zone we have got timestamp with time zone. Our time zone is this one. Asya. Okay, this is the these are very important. Okay, these are scalar data types are very important. I will just revise one more data type we remaining. After that we will revise. One last one is Boolean. Okay, um, Boolean data type. Okay, I will just mention bool Boolean. Okay, okay, and I will assign value to true. Comment. Sorry, semicolon. After I will just print this value. See what if you can print or not for Boolean value. Okay, is a Boolean type of variable. Okay, if you see now, I will run this program. It gives error, correct? Yeah. Why it has given error? If you see here, uh, when we type right wrong number or type of argument in all, okay, vbool. Because see, if you see, we cannot display the value of boolean. Okay, that's why we cannot print that. But mostly we use the boolean value only in the if else condition, just to do some arithmetic operation. If I mention if vbool, then I can print. Means if it is true, then I can print. Okay, and if here if I write like this, then it should. Oh yeah, we cannot print here actually. I will just let's try this. This will again have a problem. See, this will have a problem. But I will just remove this variable part, and I will remove this, and I will just give the string here. This variable is this variable is Boolean type of variable. Okay, and I will run this. So this got successfully completed. This variable is a Boolean type of variable. That's why see this Boolean type of variable is just for arithmetic operation, or we can we can use it for if else condition. Within if we want to change that, or we want to see that if that condition is true or false, in that case only we can use if and else condition. This Boolean. Okay. In other printing and other to print that or to display this value for boolean, we cannot do that anywhere in PLSQL. Just we can use that vbool in the if and else block, just to check that if that condition is true or false. If I remove this true part, right, then what will happen? I just remove that, and let's see what will happen. Okay, now you can see this statement didn't printed because we have not provided any value to Boolean variable. Okay, and that's why it didn't print. In other programming language, we can see the by default value for Boolean is a false. But in PLSQL programming language, the by default value for vbool or Boolean variable is always null. So so because of that, we didn't see this statement got printed. So this is all the about the PLSQL variables, scalar value variable. These are very much important variables in PLSQL programming language because and those are very much useful also. So just for revision, I want to show that again. First of all, for character varchar2, these are very much important, and this has a char varchar2. This is the declaration. We have to provide the size of that variable 50 or whatever it is. Next is number type of variable, PLS integer, binary integer. So in number type of variable, we can provide the precision and scale. In that, we can provide decimal numbers also. In PLS integer is always integer type of variable. We can have a complete or a whole number only. We cannot have a decimal number for this PLS integer, binary integer. So we always prefer to use a PLS integer, and that is a whole number. Okay. Next is date, timestamp, and timestamp with time zone. We have learned about date, timestamp with time zone. So all this date is a simple date, and timestamp is we provide in the millisecond. Also, we can provide the current time. If you provide the sysdate, we assign that timestamp. Which time zone is in which zone we are working. That zone will get displayed here. And boolean is just to use in if and else condition to check that if that condition evaluate to true or false. So this is all the scalar variable and important one. I hope you understood this very clearly about the scalar variable. In the next video, I will try to explain about the other variable types like reference variable, large object, and composite data types. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.